Apparently I shouldn't have started the live quite yet. Well, today is the day. It is the day for the 1-pack challenge. The one that I will probably regret and probably fail at very miserably, but who knows? We don't know until we try. I still won't be starting until 1. Finally something good today? Well, that's nice to hear. Aren't you? I guess you're still almost done with work if you're not already done with work. Yeah. So, should be a One Piece pack. It's not a One Piece pack, it's a Pokemon pack because I know more about Pokemon than I know about One Piece. And my goal is to stream for as long as possible for just 1 pack. I got 45 minutes left. Don't worry, hopefully I'll be done before then. I don't think I'll have the lung capacity to go for 45 minutes on just 1 pack. Dear Lord, if I did, that would be impressive. Now, what would be sick is if we actually get something cool from this pack. But don't worry, I've got One Piece for, I think, Sunday. You could say more about One Piece, but you know more about One Piece than I do. I'm also still trying to set up the music, because I want some music. But don't worry, I'll be starting soon. It'll be at 1. I still have 2 minutes. I just got a little angsty and just wanted to start early because it seemed like fun. Yes, I know you know a lot about Pokemon. It's one of those things where I don't know a lot about One Piece, but I know a lot about Pokemon. So with that in mind, I'm going to do Pokemon since I know what I'm actually talking about. Now, if this could actually start loading, that would be sick. Super, yeah. I am stupid close to being able to hear that more often. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Obviously, you're going to say it's a good thing because that's your favorite character, but... Can we do it? Is it going to work? That sounds like it's too loud. There we go. That's probably right. Why are you gonna cry on Sunday? Messages again. We've just 1 pack. Starting at 1. Gonna do a little bit of explanation. For those who don't know, Journey Together is the second most recent set. It's a set that's based around based around trainers Pokemon, including trainers like Hop, In, that you can see on the pack here, Lily, and there's one more who I do not remember. Every single time. Does it work? I don't know if we're back because my Wi-Fi is out, so it'd be on my cellular data. Can you sing now? Is it not just like bad? This happens every single time, I swear to God. Yeah, because I'm on my 1 bar of LTE. I'll be back. Okay, hello? Maybe? I don't know. Come on. Is it back? Oh, it's back. It might be back. Back? Yay! Finally. Friggin' Wi-Fi. Okay, we're gonna start over, because apparently I don't think anyone was able to hear me. So first one of the pack. New start time is 1:12 instead, because freaking Wi-Fi issues. Anyway, Whalmer. Good for GLC, probably. The Gym Leader Challenge. I don't know if it's Whalmer or if it's... I know for sure it's the Whale Lord. The Whale Lord would be good in the GLC. However, a 3 energy attack for only 60 is not great, and 130 HP makes it to where Buddy Buddy Poffin is not very reliable for being able to get out of Whalmer, especially since it only is 70 HP can get out with a Buddy Buddy Poffin. My lord. Nope, that's Whale Lord is the Pokemon. I'm kidding. Anyway, Iono's Tadbulb, the trainer that I forgot in the beginning. Hate this little dude just a little bit because of the fact that it's shiny. OG Dex entry? Don't know. You're correct. I do not know it's OG Dex entry. I don't... Next time I do this, if I do this again, I'm going to be doing more research. I'm going to do it on a set that I know a little bit better than Journey Together, while also making it to where it's like a crazy in-depth entry and stuff. But for Iono's Tadbulb, Iono here is one of the gym leaders in Paldea, if you didn't know. If you might be surprised, she's the electric gym leader. But Iono's Tadbulb evolves into Iono's Belly Bolt, And Iono's Belly Bolt's a very good card for the Iono deck, because its ability lets you put more than one energy, lets you put more than one energy per turn on your Iono's Pokemon, which is crazy. So this cost of 2 is not that bad, considering that you can just add more energy, especially if you've got more than one Belly Bolt, but you only really need one Belly Bolt to be able to do that, and you might even be able to use that in the end to be able to use some, like, energy switching to transfer some of the energy from your Iono's Belly Bolt onto other Pokemon that are in a Lightning deck, such as, like, Joltik Box or Miraidon. So, next card. Cramorant, not Hops Cramorant. I didn't know there was a regular Cramorant in this. Well, this Cramorant, flip your coin until you get tails. It does 50 damage for each heads. If this was Magic the Gathering, then that would be just an instant win or an instant kill. But we're not playing Magic. Instead, this is not that terrible of an attack. The 2 energy in of itself is not a great thing to be able to do. Once again, it's over 70 HP, so you'd have to use a Nest Ball or your Ace Spec to be able to get this out. I believe it's called Precious Trolley, lets you put as many basic Pokemon as you want onto your bench. Not a crazy thing, but it would be kind of interesting to try to build around. Just trying to do, it would be obviously GLC, because GLC doesn't have EXs, Vs, Gs, VMAX, V-Star, any of that stuff. It's only non-rule box Pokemon, so if we pull something, I'll show you what a rule box is in the end. Then we got a Floragato. The name that I never remember, because the middle evolution on a starter Pokemon. Holy cow, is that hard to remember. Floragato is definitely one that'll be forgotten in my memory after this as well. But the 2 attack for 30 damage, potentially 60 damage, and healing 30. Not terrible. Could be better. However, the Pokemon in of itself, Floragato Slander, hey, it's not my fault they're forgettable. No, I went with Fuecoco in the Paldea games, because Fuecoco's just better. But obviously evolves from Sprigatito, evolves into Meowscarada. However, there's not a crazy Meowscarada that I'm aware of for either regular or GLC. So this guy here would not be a crazy addition to any of those types of decks that are trying to use Meowscarada. But in GLC, you might be able to use this guy for just a little bit of stall to try to get some damage on, while also doing some healing onto yourself. Next card, Postwick. Postwick's a very good card. There's a lot of Hops Pokemon in this set, specifically like Hops Cramorant, Hops Zacian, Hops, what's the other one? Snorlax, Hops Snorlax. All of those are very good and use this Postwick very frequently, because it lets all of Hops Pokemon do 30 more damage to the opponent's active Pokemon. However, if your opponent is also playing a Hops deck, then it's also helping them as well. But that doesn't usually happen. Not the most common thing that you'll see. But having a bunch of Hops Pokemon, having this, along with a Hops Choice Band and Hops Snorlax, gives it an extra 90 damage to every single attack. Favorite Route 1 Mon in Sword and Shield? 100%. It's Rookidee. Mostly because that was my first shiny ever, even though I've played every single generation of the game. I literally had to go on a 29-hour hunt for Rookidee because I wanted to do a shiny-only Sword and Shield run. So, crazy stuff, but I have a shiny Rookidee in Sword and Shield. I think I named him Shiny or Lucky or something like that. Anyway, Postwick, very good card. If you're ever playing against a Hops deck, you're going to want to get rid of this Postwick Stadium as fast as you can if you can. Especially if you're playing like an Zoroark deck. It makes it to where it's a little bit of a powerhouse for the Hops deck because of their second attack on Hops Zacian. But we're moving on to the next card, Cloth. What a cute little dude. He's got like nose hair and everything. But Snipping Pincers for 2 energy, flipping 2 coins. For each head, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. Not crazy. Interesting, but not crazy. So, Hammer In, however, 3 energy, 100 damage, a little bit more crazy. Maybe not crazy, but would be a lot more viable because of the fact that it's doing 100 damage, and especially in a GLC format with it being a basic, if you're able to hit this 3 energy really easily, you can also do some of the what is it? I meant Ever, but that's my favorite. Oh, favorite Route 1 mon ever. Probably still Rookity just because it's my first shiny. But next, Levincia may put up to 2 basic lightning energy cards from their discard pile into their hand. Sorry, I'm getting messages. So, this is very good for the Iono's deck, like I mentioned before, because your Iono's Belly Bolt will make it to where whenever you grab those 2 energies from your discard pile, you can attach them to your different Iono's Pokemon that are on your bench, especially since they're lightning energy, because that's what you have to do for the ability. It makes it to where it makes it to where you can try and get as much as possible onto your benched Pokemon while also still getting your 1 energy per turn attached. So you can get up to 3 energy every turn just because you have stuff in your discard pile. It makes it to where when you're discarding cards for like Ultra Ball or Earthen Vessel, discarding those energy cards makes it to where you can actually get some very, very good combinations with those. Next, first Hollow Foil. Reverse Hollow Foil, Torkoal. Got Live Coal for 20 damage, and then we've got Heat Blast for 110 damage. As I mentioned before, pretty decent for a GLC for the over 100 damage. Even though it's a 3 energy attack, if you can get some build up to that, it would not be terrible. Especially with it being a basic Pokemon, having 130 HP is not bad. Means that it'll usually survive at least 1 hit. And it got this pretty mountain in the background. I don't know where this one is specifically from. It looks like it's from like the black and white era, though, from that mountain in the background. And like this house back over right here, if you can see that. It kind of looks like an Golem. Alolan Golem here. It's only 188. Stage 2. Flip a coin if you get a Tails. This attack does 60 damage for each heads. Oh, it's flip a coin until you get Tails. Not terrible. It's kind of similar to that other one that we saw previously from the Hops from the Cramorant. However, this one being electric makes it to where it has a weakness. Normal types do not have it. So even if you get 1 coin flip and you get that 70 damage, you might be able to get enough for the knockout, especially if they're playing with a weakness to electric. And let's see if we can actually get a hit. Nope. But it's still a Noivern. This Tuning Echo is an interesting it's an interesting ability. Makes it to where whenever you're using this attack, you can use it for free. Right? Yeah, you can use it for free as long as you have the same amount of cards in your hand as your opponent does. So, you can do 110 damage to your opponent whenever you want, or for free, as long as you have the same amount of cards in your hand, which you can do with like Iono, you can do by playing down or playing around your hands. So, that's a pretty good thing. And we've now moved on to Energy. Fighting Energy, nothing crazy. Fighting Energy is not one that I would want to see specifically, because if I was going to build a GLC deck or any other deck, it's more likely to be a dark deck. I personally really like the Dark Energy stuff, and I also really like this like texturing on the back. So I'm going to steal the code card because I actually play on live TCG. But that there is attempt number 1 of the 1-pack challenge. I only got about 10 minutes. Nothing crazy. Had a lot of Wi-Fi issues, and I'm about to have some more. I'll be back in, I don't know how long, because I'm trying to figure out the Wi-Fi problem, but I will be streaming again later today because I have more Pokemon to open, and I very badly want to open it. My goal was to open it right after this one pack challenge, but instead, I'm having so many Wi-Fi problems that it needs to be fixed. But I thank everyone with me for the day. I've also got some Magic the Gathering to open as well, but that'll be in a little bit. I've got 8 total packs, so if you want to come back later, I'll set up a stream for when I'll do that, and then we'll see how it goes. But if you want to try out this challenge yourself, it's pretty simple. Just try to stay on topic, see how long you can go. You can get as much detail as you want about each different Pokemon, but you can also get as little detail as you want with each Pokemon. And eventually, I think it would be fun to try to set up a leaderboard to try to see who's gotten the best score, but I don't know how to do that as of this moment. But I do believe that right now, the score to beat is about 11 minutes. So if you can beat 11 minutes, I'd love to see your attempt, and at me in the comments for it. Anyway, I'm going to end stream for now. As I mentioned, I'll be back later. I'll try to fix my Wi-Fi problems so that way I can get everything ready. And then I will be back. So, thank you all for joining. I appreciate you watching, and I will be back as soon as I can. See you all later, and I hope you have a great day.